Ryan's hands were shaking as he stared at his phone, the horror of what he'd just done washing over him like ice water. The text, meant for his college buddy Mark, full of terrible jokes and an embarrassing attempt at flirting practice, had gone to Victoria Chen instead. Victoria Chen, his boss's boss's boss, the CEO of the entire company. The woman whose icy reputation had grown men checking their reports 3 times before meetings. And now she'd just read his message about eyes like starlight, and wondering if fate brought us together. His 5-year-old daughter Emma tugged at his sleeve. "Daddy, you look funny. Are you okay?" Ryan tried to smile, but his face felt frozen. "Yeah, sweetie. Daddy just made a big mistake at work. Can you fix it?" Emma asked with the simple confidence of a child who believed her father could solve anything. Before he could answer, his phone buzzed. Victoria Chen was calling. His heart stopped. For a moment, Ryan considered not answering, maybe changing his name and moving to another state. But he had a daughter to support, a mortgage, and approximately $47 in his savings account until next payday. "Mr. Porter." Her voice was exactly as he remembered from the quarterly meeting, crisp, professional, terrifyingly efficient. "I received your text. Ms. Chen, I am so incredibly sorry. That message was meant for someone else entirely. It was completely inappropriate and what's your address?" Ryan's mind went blank. "I'm sorry, what? Your address, Mr. Porter. I'm coming over. We need to discuss this in person." The line went dead. Ryan stared at his phone, wondering if this was how his career ended, with the CEO personally arriving to fire him from his own living room. He looked around at the chaos surrounding him. Emma's toys scattered across the floor, dirty dishes in the sink from 3 meals ago, his work laptop balanced precariously on a stack of pizza boxes he hadn't had time to throw out. This was his life now. Single dad. Always tired. Always behind. His ex-wife had left 2 years ago, decided motherhood wasn't fulfilling her spiritual journey, and now sent a card on Emma's birthday if Ryan was lucky. He worked, he parented, he survived. Romance was something he saw in movies while falling asleep on the couch at 9:30. Which was why the practice text had been so pathetic. Mark kept insisting Ryan needed to get back out there, had even set up a dating profile for him. Ryan had been trying to write something charming, something that didn't sound like it came from an exhausted 32-year-old whose idea of a wild night was getting Emma to bed before 8. And he'd sent it to Victoria Chen. 5 minutes later, a black Tesla pulled up outside his modest rental house. Ryan watched through the window as Victoria Chen stepped out, looking impossibly elegant in a charcoal suit despite it being 7 o'clock on a Friday evening. He opened the door before she could knock, hoping to contain this disaster before Emma got curious. But he was too late. Emma appeared at his side, staring up at the tall woman with wide eyes. "Are you a princess?" Something flickered across Victoria's face, surprise, maybe even amusement. "No, sweetheart. I work with your daddy. Daddy works with a lot of people, but none of them look like you." Emma's brutal honesty made Ryan want to sink through the floor. Victoria's expression softened in a way Ryan had never seen in any company video or meeting. She crouched down to Emma's level. "Is that a unicorn on your shirt?" Emma lit up, launching into an enthusiastic explanation of each of her 7 toy unicorns and their individual personalities. Victoria listened with surprising patience before gently excusing herself to speak with Ryan. They stepped into the kitchen. Victoria's eyes swept across the mess, and Ryan watched his career flash before his eyes. "Mr. Porter, I didn't come here to fire you." He exhaled for what felt like the first time in 10 minutes. "I came because that text, as misdirected as it was, reminded me of something I've been ignoring." She paused, and for the first time since he'd known of her existence, Victoria Chen looked uncertain. "Do you know what I did before coming here? I spent 3 hours in my office, alone, reviewing quarterly projections. On a Friday night. I can't remember the last time someone tried to flirt with me, even accidentally. I can't remember the last time anyone saw me as anything other than the Ice Queen CEO." Ryan didn't know what to say. This wasn't how he'd expected this conversation to go. "Then I got your text, and yes, it was clearly a mistake. But it made me realize I've been so focused on building the company that I forgot to build a life." She glanced toward the living room where Emma was singing to herself. You're raising a daughter alone while managing a demanding job. That takes remarkable strength. It takes coffee, Ryan said without thinking. So much coffee. Victoria laughed, an actual, genuine laugh that transformed her entire face. I checked your employee file before coming over. Do you know what I found? You've never missed a deadline. Never called in sick even though I'm sure your daughter has been sick. You volunteered to help other team members. And according to your manager, you're one of the most creative problem solvers in the department. You came all the way here to tell me that. No. Victoria's expression grew serious. I came to apologize. You're apologizing. To me. I've built a company culture that's efficient but cold. Where people are afraid to make mistakes. Where a single father has to work himself to exhaustion because he's terrified of showing any weakness. That's on me. She paused. And I came to ask if you'd be willing to help me change that. We're developing a new initiative for work-life balance and family support. I need someone who actually lives that reality every day, not consultants who've never missed a school play for a meeting. Ryan's mind was reeling. You want me to, what exactly? Consult on the program. Paid position, additional to your current role. Flexible hours. And it comes with access to our new childcare facility that I'm fast-tracking for approval next week. Emma appeared in the doorway again. Daddy, I'm hungry. Can we have dinosaur nuggets? Of course, sweetie. Give me just a minute. Victoria smiled at Emma, then turned back to Ryan. Your text reminded me that we're all human beings trying to connect, trying to build something meaningful. Even cold CEOs. She extended her hand. So what do you say, Mr. Porter? Want to help me make our company a little more human? Ryan shook her hand, still somewhat in shock. Yes. Definitely yes. As Victoria left, Emma tugged on his shirt again. Daddy, was that about your big mistake? Ryan knelt down, hugging his daughter. You know what, Emma? I think maybe it was the best mistake I ever made. 3 months later, the company launched the most comprehensive family support program in their industry. Ryan led the initiative, and somewhere in the late nights of planning and strategy sessions, he and Victoria discovered they made a good team. When he finally sent her an intentional flirty text, carefully composed, definitely meant for her, she responded 5 minutes later. But this time, the message was simple: I'm already here.